Let's talk Freddie Freeman's Game 1 World Series Grand Slam home run ball selling for, wait for it, $1.56 million is what it sold for. Shout out to the 10-year-old who caught the ball and who now will be able to pay for college in a few years. It is the third most expensive baseball mat ever. Ohtani's 50-50 ball, which sold for $4.4 million. Mark McGwire's 70th home run back in 1998 sold for $3.05 million. And then you've got Freddie Freeman's $1.56 million ball, which just eclipsed the $1.5 million ball, which was Aaron Judge's 62nd home run back in 2022. This is an incredible piece of baseball history, especially if you are a Dodger fan. So I'm not surprised that this ball went for this number. I'll throw this angle at you. And we talked about it on our show. I would rather have this ball than Shohei's 50-50 ball. So the fact that, and I know Shohei Ohtani comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. He's going to be the greatest player of all time, most likely. He's famous internationally in a way that Freddie Freeman is not. All this stuff I get to be true. I'm just telling you, if I had millions of dollars to spend on baseballs, this would be the baseball that I wanted in my collection. There would not be another one that would top it. I would want Freddie Freeman's Game 1 World Series Grand Slam ball.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a couple interesting layers to this is the bidding on Freddie Freeman's Grand Slam ball was relatively low until I think the final hour and a half. And then there was some back and forth. And so they extended it, I think, an extra 2.5 hours past the original deadline, because I don't know if it was two bidders going back and forth or just multiple bidders. So that ended up raising the price to what it ended up being. The other interesting part, in my opinion, to this is that ball is not authenticated.
Yeah.
But the S&P auctions, they've asserted that, looking at video, there was clear evidence right away that kid had it. So there was that proof. It has the scuff, the World Series, there were, telltale signs that it is the home run ball. But
yeah,
typically whenever we get to these auctions, it's something that needs to be authenticated and stuff like that. And so this isn't that. And so good for the kid that it still got up to this price. I agree with you, and even we discussed it against the Shohei Ohtani 50-50 ball, right? But now that we're doing this with the information of where Freeman's checked in, I mean, it's easily it's easily better than Judge's. And I mean, sure, call us bias, I guess, right? It's better than the 60-second home run ball that set the American League record. Mark McGwire's, I think, is pretty cool. I think I might have a more sentimental view of that one, just because I was younger. In my
I was just going to say
years.
the age you are will inform how valuable each of these things really is, right?
Yeah. So I think I would put McGwire's ahead of Judge's probably because of that.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I would almost maybe put McGwire second instead of Ohtani's, but the logic side, I think, would ultimately weigh in and say, hey, that's a 50-50. Probably, I don't want to say never going to be done again, but maybe in our lifetime might not happen again. And so that would be an interesting list to kind of put together.
Yeah, because the Ohtani thing is interesting in that we will always remember that Ohtani went 50-50. Right now, can you picture the home run in your head? Can you play the video clip in your head? I have a terrible memory, so I can't. But I'll never forget the Freddie Freeman thing. I'll just never forget it, And so that's part of it too, in just the memorable nature of it, all of it. So we're biased on that. There is one other baseball that I did want to talk about, and this one made some news, some positive, some not. Oh, actually, let me say one more thing on the Freddie Freeman thing. I joked about this. So the family who sold it, they put out a statement afterwards and said, our family hopes the baseball will be displayed in Dodger Stadium so all Dodger and baseball fans can view a very special piece of history for the city of Los Angeles. With all due respect, to quote my friend Daniel Starkin, when you sell a baseball for $1.54 million, you don't get to then say, by the way, here's what I would like you to do with this baseball now that you've paid $1.5 million for it. Again, 1.56, excuse me. Look, I understand the sentiment. That's a crazy statement to put out after you've sold it, my opinion.
Maybe they're hoping that whoever bought it, which the identity still is not known,
Yeah.
or at least not public. Whoever bought that baseball maybe goes to the Dodgers and says, "Hey, you guys want to buy this off of me to display it?" Like maybe that type of thing can work out. I don't know
Or
if
store
they
it,
would.
basically like you guys hold on to it. We own
Yeah,
it, but you
that's
can
true.
hold it at Dodger
Yeah,
Stadium, that kind of a thing.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, your sentiment, I can like. If I paid 1.5 million for a baseball, I'm probably not necessarily listening to what you sold
Right.
it to me. I'm probably not really listening to what you want me to do with it. It would be up here on my shelf for this show.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, look, like if you want to lend it to the Hall of Fame or lend it to the Dodgers, knock yourself out. I wouldn't be giving people thoughts. Okay, the other baseball that was sold was the ball that Aaron Judge dropped in Game 5 of the World Series. This one did not sell for a number that ends in millions. This ball sold for $43,510. This was sold by the Dodgers. Directly, the Dodgers sold this to benefit the LA Dodgers Foundation. This is hilarious to me. And like, I would never spend, I don't have $43,000 to spend on a ball. But like, let's just say I had a disposable income that wasn't in the millions, but I had it in the tens of thousands. This would be a hilarious piece of baseball history to own because holy crap, would the stories that you could get out of this ball be great. Like, I just think it's awesome. That number is approachable. That's the first time I've ever seen an awesome piece of baseball history that I'm like, look, I could never afford that, but like, that's a car. We're not talking about like 4 houses. That's a car.
I'm shocked that it got up to that price.
Really?
I don't really see
Oh,
value
so funny.
in it. Like if it was a baseball bat, like if it was Freddie Freeman's baseball bat from his Grand Slam, if it was a baseball bat that was used by one of the Dodgers during the World Series, like that I could see, but a drop ball, like a little awkward. And I know more than look. I'm glad that it did get up that high, just to benefit the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation, who does a ton of great work. They're great with
Yeah.
us, and granting access to their different events and all that. Like they do a great job in the community. So I'm glad for them. I still don't see it like okay. I mean, it's a little strange. But yeah, it's kind of. I think we also need to not clarify, but add in that the Dodgers auction that as part of MLB's. They can't, like, every team auctioned a bunch of stuff during the winter meetings to help raise funds and stuff like that. So it wasn't necessarily just the Dodgers going off on their own saying, "Hey, we're deciding to do this." I think the fact that they chose that among other memorabilia to put up along in addition to other items is certainly a fun story. But
Yeah.
man, yeah, I don't see how the price got up to that.
Some New York sports radio guy, if you haven't heard this quote, I think the Dodgers showed who they are. They're a bunch of classless pigs. That was his response to the fact that they put up for auction Aaron Judge's dropped baseball. And look, and some people pointed out, hey, it wasn't the Dodgers. It literally was the Dodgers. So like he does have that piece right. A, I think it's really funny. B, they raised money for a good cause. And C, I think it's really funny. So I think this baseball would be hilarious to own. That's all I've got to say.
So with the baseballs we just discussed then.
Yeah.
Ohtani's 50-50, Freeman's Grand Slam, McGuire's 70th, Judge's 62nd, the AL record, and Judge's drop fly ball. Give me your list of first to fifth of which ones you, assuming like money's all equal, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like what do you want? What would you want in your collection?
Yeah, if the goal is not like to resale or to like hold
Right.
on to this, it's like the money's going to disappear and this baseball will like be mine until it just vanishes into dust.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman's Grand Slam
Okay.
is the single greatest sports moment of my life. Again, born just after 1988, like a month after the World Series. So Freddie Freeman is like number one by a mile. I think to your point, I think McGuire's 70th would probably be second on my list because as a kid, the Sosa McGuire thing was awesome. Like peak baseball of the last 35 years, in my opinion. I would probably say I mean, it sounds crazy when the numbers are like this. Like the Shohei 50-50 thing, I am not trying to discount it at all. I just think it would be so funny to have the ball that Aaron Judge dropped in Game 5. It's the game the Dodgers won the World Series. Like, am I crazy for saying I would prefer the dropped ball from Aaron Judge to Shohei's 50-50? I just think, like, that was Game 5 of the World Series, and it's super funny.
Maybe not crazy. I'm glad you went with that because I was agreeing with your list and I was like, man, we're not going to end up debating anything. I would flip them. I would do Otani's ball 50-50 ball third,
Okay.
The one Judge dropped fourth, his 62nd AL record, I have no desire for that. So I would take it, and I would maybe go play catch with it or resell it or something.
Yeah, in case anybody's wondering, Barry Bonds, who cares about that guy? Kick rocks, Barry Bonds. I want nothing to do with any of the baseballs that you ever hit. So there you go. Yeah, that's what I got.